I'm going to be showing you my wash routine for when I wash my grey pony Danny for a show. I'm going to be using all my SmartGrooming products which they sent me to review, and I'll just be giving you a little bit of information about each one so you can go and check out and see if you want any. SmartGrooming is a really helpful company which sells all grooming products and washing products, and it's really great for your horses, especially if you have a grey like me. They work miracles in my opinion, and I don't know what I'd do without them. This is also a collab with Infinity Equines. She'll be doing her grooming routine, so check out her video in the description. So let's get straight into it. I'll be running you through in a voiceover what I do. So before I actually begin to wash Danny, I try and get off as much as possible of the dried mud using a magic horse brush, which is basically like a harder version of the dandy brush and is really good for getting off dried and caked on mud. And once I've done that, I'll just give his whole body a quick groom with a normal body brush, and that will just get off any of the loose dust and grease in him and hopefully make my job of washing him a little bit easier. And now it's time to actually start giving him a wash. On this particular day, I actually wasn't going to give Danny a full wash because he was being ridden a couple of hours later and I didn't want him to be wet. So I'm actually just giving his neck and legs and tail and mane a wash so it's all nice and sparkly clean for our show. Once I've got off as much of the stain as I can using just water, I get the SmartGrooming Polar White spray and spray it on Dan's neck and rub it in using the Super Groomer. I have to say, I think the Polar White spray with the Super Groomer is actually one of the most effective ways to get stains off greys. It worked so well and I actually couldn't believe how well it got the stain off of Dan's neck. I then decided, as it was working so well, to try it on Danny's face. He's usually a bit of an idiot when it comes to sprays and he doesn't really like it going on his face, but with this Super Groomer, he really began to enjoy it and actually started to fall asleep in my arms, which is not Danny-like at all. I also went and used the Super Groomer and Polar White spray to clean Danny's mane. It worked really well again and made it very white, and it worked a lot better than all the other Sainsbury's shampoos we've used before. Once the Polar White spray is all rubbed in, you just need to rinse it and then it will just come out all sparkly and white, as you can see in this video clip. Dan looks very clean compared to earlier. So a little bit of information about both of the products. The Polar White is a spray-on stain remover and whitening shampoo, and it helps remove stable and grass stains on feathers, socks and tails. It also smells really nice and fresh, and it contains a degreasing agent which helps to remove stubborn grease. The Super Groomer can be used wet or dry. It can be used for putting shampoo on and massaging in, or used dry for getting the caked mud off. It's really good for heads and sensitive areas because brushes can sometimes be a little bit too irritating. I honestly don't know how I've lived without this product before. It's so good and I'm going to be using it all the time. It's also made of recycled nylon and it doesn't harbour any bacteria when you wash it, which is great. Next, I had the job of washing Danny's legs. As you can see here, they were so dirty and covered in mud, and it was like wet mud as well, and it was disgusting and I didn't know how I was going to clean it. I began by getting off as much of the mud as I could using the water, and then I got to the Polar White spray and sprayed it all and rubbed it on using the Super Groomer again. This worked really well, but it still kind of left like a yellow stain, I think, because the mud was so wet and disgusting. So I got the Deep Purple shampoo, which is such a nice lavender smelling shampoo that works absolutely wonders, and I rubbed this all over his legs and they turned out so nice and white and I was so happy with it. His back legs were actually even more dirty than his front legs were, so I just went straight in with the water and the Polar White spray and rubbed it in using the Super Groomer, and then put some of the Deep Purple shampoo on. Once again, it turned out so nice and white. The Deep Purple whitening shampoo is my absolute favourite product that SmartGrooming sent me to review. It also is really rich in conditioning and contains oil of lavender, which promotes calmness and is really soothing. The smell is absolutely amazing. I love lavender and it just makes the product even better. So once Danny's body is all clean, I go and get his rugs. So I use a light stable rug, which is made of like a soft material, and then one made of like a shinier material, which is a bit warmer, and that goes over top. The last part on my wash routine is cleaning Danny's tail. As you can see, it was very yellow this day and full of shavings and all these other bits of twigs and stuff. So to start with, I filled up a bucket full of warm water and put some of the diluted Deep Purple shampoo into it. And then I lifted it up and put Danny's tail into it and let it like sink in for 5 minutes. And when the soapy water was all soaked through Dan's tail, I lifted it out and you could see it was a little bit whiter but not quite ready yet. So I got some of the shampoo and rubbed it all in, and that made it a lot whiter. And I just picked out some of the shavings that had not come out in the water. And when I actually rinsed it out with the water, it came a lot whiter. And just before I brushed it through, I spun it around like a windmill to get some of the excess water out. I got the SmartGrooming Tame the Mane, and as the name suggests, it's a mane and tail detangler. It worked so well, and I actually couldn't believe how easily the brush slid through his tail. Once I'd brushed his tail fully out, I plaited it to make sure it didn't get dirty whilst he was in his stable. I then quickly used it to brush through Danny's mane, and for once in his life, Danny didn't actually have a Mohican. And then I put Danny into his stable to dry before our show. He was very happy and he looked very white, and I can definitely say that I highly recommend all the SmartGrooming products, so check out their website, which I'll link down below. I would like to say a massive thank you to SmartGrooming for sending me these products to review. They help out so much, especially as I have a grey pony. As you can see in these before and after pictures, they work absolutely amazingly and I couldn't fault any of them. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe for more.